Поехали.
Let's go.
Итак, у нас
So, we have a gentleman, another Mr. Elevator.
господин Лихт.
So, news reports about the sudden but predictable dismissal of Chris Liftoff as chairman of CNN give the impression that his relatively short tenure was marked by a series of blunders that collectively led to his demise.
Короткое пребывание в должности было отмечено серией промахов, которые в совокупности привели к его кончине. Но это чепуха.
But that's nonsense. By the way, this edition of the Federalist writes, my favorite, right? And so on. Licht was fired for one reason. He actually believed that CNN was a place where he could return to something like a major news gathering operation without a complete overhaul of producers, correspondents and, above all, presenters.
После года возни с маргиналами.
After a year of tinkering with the marginals, the transfer of the drama queen Don Lemon from night to morning, the dismissal of the masturbator on camera from the channel, the elevator ultimately could not do anything that could take CNN away from its current status as a patronizing evil propaganda group to something else, less hysterical and more impartial.
Пропагандистской группы к чему-то другому, менее истеричному и более беспристрастному. Для этого потребуется уволить...
To do this, you will need to fire Jack Slipper, Anderson Cooper, Aaron Vernat, and so on.
Но по какой-то причине Лихт решил, что...
But for some reason, Licht decided that instead he could get to an endless series of internal notes about the use of words and a game on balance.
На балансе. То есть и на балансе между, так сказать, как было раньше.
That is, and on the balance between, so to speak, as it was before. CNN as a television product does not sell journalism or news. And he hasn't sold it since 2015. CNN, as a television product, sells fictional reasons why Americans hate each other.
Бегущая строка, смерти от пандемии, смертоносные беспорядки БЛМ, большая ложь.
A running line of pandemic deaths, deadly BLM riots, big lies, and violent insurrection are all propagandized and repeated on CNN to give half the country a reason to hate its neighbors.
Освещение политических конфликтов – большая часть новостной журналистики.
Coverage of political conflicts is a big part of news journalism. CNN does not cover political conflicts. CNN creates it, CNN foments these conflicts, and then CNN informs its audience that violence on one political side is permissible to resolve this conflict. The fact that Don Lemon became the host of the morning show will not change anything. Getting rid of the masturbator on camera won't change anything. The only way to change this is to clean the house, that is, to clean the entire office. Chris Lee did not clean the house, that is, he did not clean it. Chris Leak suggested that he worked as journalists who simply made a short-sighted choice of ratings which could be returned to the right track. There were no mistakes and they are not on the wrong track. It's just CNN.
Ошибок не было, и они не на ложном пути. Это просто CNN.
There is no other explanation for the catastrophe that arose as a result of Trump's speech last year, organized by CNN.
Выступление Трампа, организованное CNN, нет. Donald Trump,
the former president and the main Republican candidate for president again.
Размещение такой фигуры должно рассматриваться.
The placement of such a figure should be considered as a welcome opportunity and a duty of any news service. Probably thought that he would be glorified for the production. The article for The Atlantic said that it should have been a victory in which it is needed.
Быть победа, в которой Лихт необходим. И вместо этого корреспонденты CNN осудили собственное мероприятие.
And instead, CNN correspondents condemned their own event and sent this expert out the door because they hated him even more for bringing Trump to CNN. Because CNN is not a news service and does not want to be one. The face was hopeless, naive, believing that this was so. So he leaves.